basically just taking the mentality, like, if you're gonna do something, like, really put your all into it and try hard to be successful and successful at your level, not trying to meet somebody else's standard.
I just had a really fun conversation with Ryan Courtright. Ryan is expecting the birth of his first child, a son, in a few months. He shared the excitement that he and his wife, Amanda, have in anticipation of that. I think you're going to really enjoy hearing from Ryan Courtright. Today, my guest is Ryan Courtright. And Ryan, welcome to Our People, Our Purpose. Tell us a little bit about what you do for CNG and how long you've been here.
Yeah, so I'm the director of operations finance. So been with the company since February of 2015, so 10 years now. And really done a lot of different things all within finance. Started at the most junior level you can start at, though, as just a financial analyst coming in and really very green, trying to learn all I can, and have just been progressing kind of through the finance, different roles, trying to get involved in many different things. Now I'm getting a little bit more narrow, just focusing on operations finance, but then adding Moonshot, this past year.
So Moonshot, I love that. Maybe for those who don't know what that means, what is Moonshot?
Okay, so I'll give you my definition of what I feel like Moonshot is. It's evolved. So I feel like Moonshot is our CNG's way of trying to get all 25 employees thinking and acting like an owner.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal behind Moonshot is to grow our profitability. We have a goal of 100 million. But I really feel like the root of it is getting all 2,500 employees showing up to work, thinking, acting, and giving their ideas on how to grow the company, and acting like owners. So it's getting them involved, whether you're out on the plant floor or you're in an office.
Yeah. It's really like mining the great ideas our people have and,
Yeah.
creating success for all of us.
Yep. Yeah. We have a goal, obviously, but the whole point of it is really getting everybody. CNG is very unique in
Mm-hmm.
that we're all owners. So
Yes.
it's getting all of us thinking and acting like that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I was really proud to award you recently is the CNG Owner Award,
Hmm.
which is an award that goes to the person that is most living the values of CNG and demonstrating that ownership. So congratulations,
Thank you.
Ryan, for
Yeah.
that.
Very humbling that you guys would all think of me of that, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Well, based on the crowd erupting in cheers, I think many people felt that that was a worthy award for you. So
Cool.
it was really cool. So one of the things that I hear about you and I noticed about you is that like taking ownership for things and the fact that you've grown so much in your career in 10 years. Tell me about that work ethic. Where did it come from? How did you grow up? Like how did you have this ambition, to be doing what you're doing?
Yeah, so I would say, it started very young, but it comes from my dad for sure. He has a very high standard for, all things that you do. Basically just taking the mentality, like if you're going to do something, like really put your all into it and try hard to be successful and successful at your level, not trying to meet somebody else's standard, but, do the best you can for whatever you're, trying to do. So starting at like a young age, really in sports, playing football growing up, and then I got really into golf too. So just trying to take that attitude of like, if you're gonna do it, try to do the best you can. Let's not, half do things. Um, and then, later on getting into work, I would say early, to be honest, I don't know that I had that attitude, just being so distracted with, your, early 20s and
Yes.
entering the workforce. But I would say in the last 5 years, really, coming to work and showing up and like, okay, I'm going to treat this like it was my company. And if, I owned it, I'm going to show up and act like I'm going to try to do the best, as if I was leading it.
Yeah.
So just kind of having that mentality and trying to always make the, most informed best decisions I can.
Yeah. Well, that definitely comes through. So thank you for sharing that. So did you grow up here in this area or?
So about an hour west of here, Upper Sandusky,
Okay.
small farming town.
Yeah.
Grew up in the
So
country.
you grew up on a farm?
Um, I worked on a farm, but not on a farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So siblings,
One, younger brother, so he's 2 years younger than me.
okay.
Um,
So you're the older brother.
I'm the older brother. Yep, the older, bigger
Mhm.
brother,
Yep.
but he is 6'7", so he's a
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
he's a
really?
tall one, yeah. Um, so him and I always super competitive with sports too, and he's down in Columbus now working at an accounting firm doing their marketing.
Okay.
Um, but yep, one little brother getting married this summer.
Okay. So tell me about your life. You're married. Tell us about your wife and
Yep.
your
Yeah, my anchor, Amanda, she, definitely just keeps me very grounded and, is always a sounding board for everything. I'm a
Mhm.
very, I get very excited over things, and she's a very good
Yes.
sounding board to make sure
Yep.
that it's like, "Okay, stay in reality, Ryan, don't get too far out there." Um, but her and I went to school together, so we went to grade school together, and,
Wait, wait. You haven't been together since
we
grade
haven't
school.
been together since grade school, but we went to grade school together, so went
Okay.
to school probably from 3rd grade all the way through high school.
Wow.
Yep, and then went off to separate colleges.
Did
Never dated or
you never
anything.
dated in high
Nope,
school?
nope, she was my homecoming date, but
And
we never dated. We just went as friends.
did you want to?
I did, yeah, that she didn't wanna date me, yeah. I was a little
Okay.
bit of the cocky athlete in
Okay.
high school,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, she never had any interest, but we were always good friends,
Uh-huh.
um, and then kinda went our separate ways in college, did our own thing for 4 years, and then, we still talked a little bit over the summers and stuff, we would hang out, but then really, I would say rekindled our friendship probably 5 years after we, got out of college.
So you went to different
Yep,
colleges.
different colleges. So, didn't really talk to her the whole 4 years we were at college and stuff.
Okay. And so where did the rekindling begin?
So my parents' house was always kind of a hub for all of my friends. So we
Okay.
would always kinda have things over the summer during college and all be able to hang out and, get together, catch up on whatever we've, been
Mhm.
doing. So it was actually at one of those that, we just started talking again, and then we kinda just kept the conversation going and, just
And
yeah,
then that's
led to
it.
us hanging
The
out
fire
and
got lit
yeah,
and the kindling was burning.
yeah,
So
yeah.
awesome. And kids?
So one on the way. Yeah, one on the way. We have, our son will be due in July.
Wow.
So,
So
actually, he's
exciting.
due on my wife's birthday, so July
No
12th.
way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny. Our doctor started we started laughing at one of our checkups, and she was like, "What's so funny?" Like, "Well, you just said July 12th, and that's her birthday." So, it was kinda you know,
Wow. So it's getting closer and closer.
it
So do you
is.
have a nursery set up or
No nursery set up yet. We've been, you know, we started to gather some things, but
Mhm.
don't have the nursery set up yet. I think we're gonna kinda repurpose my office at home to do that.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
I'm getting the boot. I'm gonna have to find a temporary office.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, we're gonna get that, set up here in the next month or 2. I got some work to do.
Well, that's an exciting time. Wow, 2025. To be born in 2025.
I know.
Just think about that. Think about likely, we'll see the next turn of the next century and think
Mhm.
about the things that are going to happen, be developed,
Yeah.
from 2025 forward. It just feels like everything's sped up so much, right?
Mhm.
With technology and now with AI and
Yeah. It's like, what is he gonna think that's like, "Wow, you're old for thinking that."
I know.
It's like
That's, probably all the basic things that we're doing
I know.
today, you know? Like like looking at a laptop or, like, "Oh, that's how you used to do it?"
Mhm.
I just project it with my eyes,
I know. Well, you've
like
mentioned AI. It's like, is that gonna be something that's like, "What are you talking about, dad? That's nothing."
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, technology is gonna continue to
Mhm.
leapfrog,
Mhm.
but that's exciting, being a new parent.
I know. Yeah.
So what how do you think that's gonna do you guys like to travel a lot now? Are there things that are gonna kinda life adjustments that you think are gonna happen with a new baby coming?
Oh, definitely life adjustments. For the first 5 years of marriage, we really weren't thinking about kids. For a long time, we didn't think we were going to, and then, over the summer, talked about it,
So
decided
you
we
didn't
were
think you were gonna have kids at all for the
no, I
first
mean,
5
we were pretty set on
Wow.
not having kids,
Okay.
and, just in talking about it more, it's like here's how we always explained it, and when her and I would have this conversation, it was, "If you could have 2 lives, we definitely would in one and not in the other. But if you only have one and you
Interesting.
have to pick one,"
Uh-huh.
we were leaning, to not. And then I think it's just, an age thing. As you get older, you start thinking about it more. You see your friends having kids.
Yep.
Um, and it just made us re-talk about it and rediscuss it. And it's like, yeah, I think we'd be sad if we missed out on not being parents.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, I've told her, I said, "It comes in waves for me." It's like, "Holy cow, I'm gonna be a dad."
I
And it's
know.
like, it's not here
I
yet, but
know.
then, I'm at work, I'm not really thinking about it much, and I go home and I see her, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a dad in 3
Yeah.
months."
It
Whoa,
I think
my world's gonna
you're
change.
gonna be a great dad.
Yeah, I'm so
I
excited.
can tell. You're
Yeah.
gonna be a great dad. So what are the things that you and Amanda like to do?
Yeah, so we do like traveling. We don't do it very often, but we like traveling. We love trying out new restaurants. We're both pretty balanced foodies. I like kind of everything. My wife's a little bit more narrow. She likes her pizzas and stuff like that, more of like a
Mhm.
bar food. So we
Yep.
love going and trying new stuff when it comes to that. Um, we're homebodies though too. Like we like just hanging out. She likes reading. I like working out at home. I have a gym at home. So it's kind of balanced, hanging out with friends,
Mhm.
but it's kind of a mixed.
Yeah. I can tell you're into the fitness. You got
Mhm.
the
Yeah, every
muscles.
morning.
Yes. Good for you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's a good habit.
So you guys like to travel? Or
Yeah, like, I probably, 2 or 3 times a year try to go do something,
Mhm.
whether it's just a small weekend trip. Last year, we did a big trip. We went to Colorado for I think it was, 8 days and did
Mhm.
a little traveling around out there.
So you like
Um,
the outdoor kind of activities
yeah,
or
not really big city folks.
not big city
Yeah,
folks? Yeah.
I'll be honest, Chicago gives me anxiety every time I go.
Yeah.
I love the food. The food's incredible, but
The food is amazing. Big cities aren't for everyone, you
yeah.
know? I think you know, I don't meet many people who love both, right? I
Mhm,
love being in the country and I love the city,
mhm.
but I think if I had 2 lives.
Yeah. I like visiting for sure. Like,
Yeah.
vacationing in a big city, I think
Yeah.
is fun, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It is different. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel like if I'm out in the country, it makes me kind of anxious.
really
I know.
interesting. It's
I
calming.
know. Like, 'cause it's like, what if somebody pulls up out here in the middle of nowhere?
I'm so used to that. I love that.
But it's the opposite again, what you get used to.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You can't be in Chicago without hearing the sirens, and
Mhm.
I don't even notice them. Like, people say, how do you deal with all that?" It's like you get used to the buzz of the city and, it just sort of
Interesting.
is a familiar. Yeah.
Mhm. I don't even feel like I'm used to we live in Mansfield. I don't even feel like I'm used to the traffic in Mansfield, and I've lived here for
Yeah,
5, 10 years
but
now.
when you were a little boy, you grew up in the country, you said,
Yeah.
not on a farm, but in the farm
Yeah, I
kinda
mean,
country
in
and
farm country, like, we were
yeah,
surrounded 4 ways by farm
yeah,
fields. Yeah.
yeah. So when you were a little boy, who had an influence on you? Is there anyone that was, particularly like a mentor to you or really helped shape you into who you've become?
Hmm. I mean, definitely my dad. I keep going back to him. I'm trying to think outside of him though. Um,
Like, how did you choose this profession? What was it that made you, want to pursue a career in finance?
I would say business. So I had people around me growing up. I'll give you one. So my uncle Jerry. I guess I'm thinking he definitely was somebody that I feel like our whole family looked up to. He had his own business. He started it. He grew it very, to a very good sized company and then sold it.
Ah,
And I feel like everybody in the family looked up to Uncle Jerry because of his business, acumen and how he did that. So I would say I was very fascinated by the business side, and then he got into real estate, which is something for a long time I thought I wanted to, pursue and
oh,
do.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the business side always interests me. I was always good at numbers, and then it kind of just led into finance.
Mhm.
Um, but I really feel like my interest was more just in understanding business and understanding how, you grow a business and make money.
Yeah. And, because the other thing I would say is, in terms of leadership,
Mhm.
it's not just finance that you're doing, but like leadership is something that I know you take very seriously and do a great job with really wanting to own that development and mentoring of your team.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, how does is that come naturally to you?
I mean, I guess maybe a little bit. I wouldn't say naturally. It's definitely something that you have to hone and think about and be intentional about.
Mhm.
And I know what I look for in a good leader or a good manager or mentor.
Mhm.
And I try to always acknowledge that what I like isn't what everybody might like.
Yeah.
And you gotta kind of find your niche as far as what you're good at as a leader, but then also be willing to accommodate those, and maybe they like a different style of leadership or how you, interact with them. Um, Definitely some people are more in person, some people can do things more send an email and let them think about it and then get back to them in a few days. So I do think it's one of them things, um, foundationally in leadership, I am okay at it, but it's something that I do try to be intentional about and really think about.
Yeah. No, that's really insightful. I think that's really good advice
Mhm.
for any leader is you can't take a one size fits all
Yeah.
approach because it doesn't work, right?
And some
People are
people
different. Lots of people are.
definitely. And
Yeah,
what people are receptive to that gets them motivated is very different.
absolutely.
So I do think it's one of the things is if you're intentional about it, and really, focus on it when you're interacting with people, it's something that you can hone.
Yeah.
It's kind of when you get set in like, well, this is what I like, and I'm going to do it how I like it. Is where you can run into
Yeah.
some
It doesn't
issues.
make you a very good leader that
Right?
way,
Yeah.
right? All right, so let's get back to outside of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are there any hobbies that you have or interests? I know we talked about lifting weights and, working out. What else do you like to do?
So definitely just being in the outdoors. So growing up
Okay.
in the country, hunting, fishing, hiking, canoeing,
So,
swimming,
what
kind of
what
doing all
kind of
that stuff.
hunting?
So I would have said up until a few years ago, mostly just whitetail hunting. I grew up doing like squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting, stuff like that too, but primarily just whitetail deer hunting. And then in the last few years, have really got into more of the traveling, going on experience hunts,
Mm,
and
mhm,
so went out west a few times. Have went
mhm.
to Maine a few times, and then went to Africa last year. So getting into more of the adventure type
Who do you
hunts.
do that with?
So I've done it with friends. I've done it with
Like, does your dad?
so this my dad and I went to Africa together. He's
Ah,
more on the fishing side, so
okay.
we've went to Minnesota a whole bunch. So we drive all the way up to Minnesota,
Oh,
like a
wow.
20-hour
Well,
drive.
that's great,
Yeah.
though, spending
Yeah.
that quality time in the car,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
love road trips like
Yeah.
that.
Those are the opportunities, like, I would give up all the other stuff if it, meant I could, like, do a trip with my dad.
Uh,
Some of it's not near as fun when you're doing it by yourself, but it's more about the company and the more of the adventure than actually what you're doing,
yeah.
is what I really enjoy. So, have done that, and then we went to Mexico this last year, which was really awesome, doing a bass fishing trip down there.
Wow. So when you say fishing, I'm thinking standing on the pier with a pole. That's probably not what you mean, is it? Like, what do you mean by like, is you take a boat out in the middle of the ocean and you're
So, most times it's us, and we'll rent a boat
okay?
ourselves, and it's like a small boat, like the size of this table in films for, so like 15 foot. And it's got a little motor on it, and we'll go out
Okay.
and we'll fish for walleye or smallmouth or whatever it is
S
on an inland lake up in Minnesota.
Okay. So that
Um,
that is kind of more what I was thinking.
yeah,
Like,
so it's not high tech, not
okay,
fancy. It's
okay.
yeah, very much like
Yep.
the
Sitting in the boat all day waiting to catch the fish.
yeah, kinda, yeah.
So I always wonder, like, when you're out there doing that, what do you talk about? Like, are you quiet? Because that's a lot of
Oh, we
time.
don't stop talking.
You
We
don't
talk the
stop
whole time.
talking.
Yeah.
So you cover all different topics and
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a lot of storytelling.
okay.
I love hearing my dad's stories of him growing up. I like hearing about my grandpa. He passed away when I was 6 or 7, so he'll tell me stories about my grandpa. Um, yeah, tell me fishing stories. We'll just catch up about life and marriage and my brother.
I
Now we're
love
gonna have a
that.
little kid to talk about,
Oh
so that'll
my
be fun.
gosh. That is so cool.
Work, we talk a
Yeah.
lot about work, so
Uh-huh.
he definitely knows the whole leadership team, and
Hi,
yeah,
Dad.
I've told him about all of you, so
Oh my gosh. I just think that ability to spend that much quality time
Mhm,
with your dad is just so precious. I
yeah,
mean, I really envy you for that.
yeah. There's definitely days that we don't catch a lot of fish, but it's like, yeah, we didn't shut up the whole time we were out there on the boat, so it's fun.
Yeah, very cool. So then, you catch the fish and you eat them right there or you bring them back?
Most of the fishing we do is just catch and release. It's more just
Okay.
getting out there and doing it.
Yeah.
But my wife doesn't eat, red meat, but she does eat fish. So in
Yep.
the last few years, we have got into more keeping some of the fish, especially the, good eating fish like walleye and perch
Yeah,
and that kinda
I
stuff.
love
So
lake perch is my favorite
yep,
fish. It's
yep,
harder and harder to find though, like when you go to restaurants.
yeah.
It used to be like, years and years ago, like lake perch was, like 10 inches.
Mhm.
And now it's like little
Getting
tiny,
smaller?
yeah,
Yeah.
getting smaller all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's not even,
It's not
lake
even
fish
lake.
anymore. Yeah,
It's no,
yeah.
I don't like the ocean perch. It's
Mhm,
totally different flavor.
mhm.
So, well, at this point, I'm going to turn the tables,
Okay.
Ryan, and give you an opportunity. Is there anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, so, I was trying to think of a really good question to ask you. Um, Jacqueline on my team recently had her 2nd child. Ashley is on her 2nd, and then I'm expecting. So,
Yes.
as an expecting parent or
Oof.
as a parent with
Yes.
young children, what advice would you give to them of balancing work life and, just what advice would you give to a
Wow.
young parent?
Really, really good question. It's not easy, right? I mean, that's the first thing that I would tell you, but so worth it and so rewarding to have kids. And when you're working full time, and my husband worked full time, so you have two parents working full time. It's a lot to manage, but you always have to make the kids the priority. So, even though we both had, pretty demanding jobs, I never missed anything that was really important
Mhm,
to my daughters. So, whether it's like a school concert or a game or, at least one of us was always there to support them. And, the other thing I think is really important is to bring your career into their lives too.
mm,
So they understand what it is mom does or what it is dad does and
mhm,
talk about work and make it part of the family so they feel included in it. Versus trying to be like, "Oh, when I'm at work, I'm this Ryan, and when I'm at home, I'm that Ryan." You
mm,
wanna sort of have them see your full self as you are, both at work and at home. So I was always conscious of that because in my mind, I wanted my daughters to feel like if they had career aspirations that I could be a role model for them. And that is what has happened, right?
right.
So they both are career women today and I feel good that I was able to really inspire them,
Mhm,
to pursue the careers that they wanted to do. Neither one of them wanted to do what I did. My oldest daughter is an attorney, and my youngest daughter works in the entertainment business in marketing. Um, but I think that, you know, when you and I assume Amanda's gonna work, or if she does,
yeah, so
or
she's a school counselor at
so
Galleon right now,
okay,
and yep.
yeah, so maybe your son will be able to go to the
Mhm,
school that she's at. But that's a choice. That's a tough choice, right? Are we going to be a two career family or
mhm,
one? Um, but my view on it was I want them I want them to see me as a whole person, as a career
right.
person and as a mother and open, sort of the opportunities of what they might think is possible for themselves.
Interesting, very cool. Yeah, bring them in a little bit and let
Yeah.
them know, like I mean, it
Take
is a big
take 'em
part of
to
your
work.
life,
Yeah,
right?
it's totally a big part of your life.
Right.
We had when they were younger, like, bring your daughters to work day. And I would always bring them in and, they'd come into my office and they'd draw on the board, and I think, having them come in and see what you do and be part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alright, I will definitely take that
Yeah.
advice. I
But
like
but,
that.
there are gonna be challenges. You always feel like you can't do it all, and, I always also felt like I had a lot of guilt as a
Yeah,
mom, but I look back on it now and they both turned out great, and they're amazing people,
yeah.
so
I mean, I asked the question because I feel like it's an area that I'm nervous about, right? And I'm gonna struggle with, so always appreciate
yeah,
good advice there.
yeah. It's hard to leave them, sometimes,
Mhm.
but what you realize is they have to learn independence too, right?
Right.
You can't be there for everything, you can't be too overprotective, but yet you have to let them know that you love them.
Yeah.
So,
Find the good balance with them too.
yeah.
Alright. Thank
All
you.
right, Ryan, well, thank you for all you do for C&G. You're your life, what you've been able to accomplish, in the 10 years you've been here, and just when I think about you in the future, I mean, it's really inspiring. So, thank you so much for being my guest.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.